Hi, I'm Clary and I've been in eating disorder recovery for 2 years now, and today I want to talk with you about problems that you might be experiencing if you're in eating disorder recovery during lockdown, and of course solutions for how to overcome those. Just a heads up that I'm not a licensed medical professional and I'm giving you my experience living with an eating disorder and trying to overcome it. So please, if you are struggling with an eating disorder, seek out professional help because you are so worth it. So COVID-19, we all know the deal. Full on lockdown here in the UK, similar in many other countries as well. The global ongoing situation has been weighing very heavily on a lot of people, and people in eating disorder recovery have had to struggle with their own particular set of challenges. I know I have, and so I would like to dive into those a bit more and share with you some tips for how to overcome those. Problem number 1. You have a lot of time to concern yourself with food, weight and shape. Now, something that I realised I was doing, I looked in the mirror a lot, checking myself out in the mirror and just kind of spotting things that I didn't like. Also, another thing I was doing, just thinking about food all the time because I had so much time on my hand. I could think about what I was going to eat, when I was going to eat it, how much of it I was going to eat, what I was not going to eat. If, like me, you work remotely, you will see yourself many times on video calls. And if you're on social media, you have plenty of time to scroll through and see all these perfect bodies on there. Now, what that might do with you, you might end up hating your body. Just thinking, I don't like this, I don't like that, and it will actually make you take steps back in your recovery rather than moving forward. Now, what do you do to overcome this? One thing that might help is thinking about the way you dress. On days where you don't feel very comfortable in your body and you have things that you really hate about yourself, try baggy clothes. It's just so much easier to not have to concern yourself with body parts because they're kind of just hidden away in a nice big jumper or some baggy tracksuit bottoms. Whereas on days that you feel super confident and you kind of are happy with the way that you look and the way that your body feels, you can wear these clothes that you were gonna wear to go out. I mean, yeah, no, you're not going anywhere, but that doesn't mean you can't dress up nicely and feel good about yourself. So why not put on a lovely cocktail dress if you feel like it? Now, if you feel you must concern yourself with your body in some way, that's okay. But why don't you try and focus on something positive? For example, try out some new makeup styles, new eyeliners, lipsticks, dye your hair. I use this really nice semi-permanent hair dye by Crazy Colours. They're vegan, they're cruelty-free, I ordered it online, and it was just really fun to do something for my body that wasn't to do with my shape or weight. Another thing I did was I cut my own fringe. I really loved it because it gave me a new style, something that I was kind of happy and pleased with, but it didn't have anything to do with the fat content of my body. Doing these kind of things will make you feel good about yourself and you have something fun to do, which also means you won't be concerning yourself constantly with the next meal or snack. Problem number 2, isolation sucks. If you are by yourself all the time, or maybe with always the same person or the same people, it can be really frustrating. And it can also mean no one's really watching, so you're slipping back into old habits. For me, these are things like weighing my food, weighing myself constantly, skipping meals, skipping snacks, body checking. They might be very different for you. I mean, everyone has their own things that they know they're not really helping themselves with or their recovery, but they're just doing anyways. One thing that has been super helpful for me to hold myself accountable and to realise what I was doing for my recovery and what I was doing to kind of boycott my recovery is journaling. With journaling, you can write down things that you're doing or you're not doing on a daily basis, and you can go back and read through them and think, oh, actually, this is where I've done really well, or actually this is something that I could improve to help myself get better and to help myself overcome my eating disorder. And then this way, once you've identified the areas that maybe need some more support or you need to kind of put some more effort and time into, you can set goals. Now, goals for your recovery can be things like, I don't want to count calories today. I don't want to count calories this week. I don't want to weigh myself this week. I don't want to weigh my food. Whatever it is that helps you in your recovery, you should set yourself goals for. When I first started, I had very small goals that at the time seemed extremely big. Now when I'm in my recovery, I think they're not a big deal at all. It was like, today I'm going to drink a glass of juice, or today I'm not going to time the duration that I'm eating lunch for. I know in the same way that I'm writing down goals now that are like, I'm not going to, as I said, count calories. At one point, I will think, wow, back then I had these things as my goals, and now they're just things that, you know, I'm very naturally do or don't do because I'm at a very much progressed point in my recovery, and this is really how I know that it works. Problem number 3 is the self-improvement hype that is going on throughout lockdown. There are a lot of people that are trying to better themselves and they set ambitious goals for themselves, like training for a marathon or eating healthier, doing intermittent fasting, losing weight, and these might all be goals that are really great for some people and really work for them. And I think that if, you know, it's something that you think is going to improve your health and your mental health, you should definitely be pursuing these things. However, for people with eating disorders, these kind of goals based around nutrition and shape and weight can be toxic at a certain stage in their recovery. So what can you do to shield yourself from that a bit if that is the case for you? Now, there's a few other things that you can focus on that aren't related to nutrition and your body. For example, pick up a new hobby or a new skill. It could be learning a language, sewing, making art, making music, making a video. You are not your eating disorder. There are things outside of your eating disorder that you enjoy and that you like doing, and you don't have to let your eating disorder define you in that way. So it might be worth just thinking about something that you always wanted to do and use the time to do it now. Also, if you don't want to achieve anything in particular and you kind of feel pressured by the whole hype, that's also okay. Look after yourself. Set yourself self-care goals rather than self-improvement goals. Another thing that I would recommend is to mute people on social media that you find are triggering for you. It doesn't mean that they're bad people at all. It just means that for you in your stage of recovery, it can be quite triggering to see that someone is actively trying to lose weight or see that someone is trying a diet that is highly restrictive. With that in mind, that's all I want to say really. I really hope that these are tips that will help you in your everyday life in eating disorder recovery, especially during lockdown. And as someone who's still actively in eating disorder recovery, I'd love to hear your tips on how you cope during this difficult time. And also your ideas on what other videos you'd like to see. I focus on eating disorder recovery and particularly veganism and eating disorder recovery. So it'd be really great to hear what you think. Thanks so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.